All right, hello, welcome to Adventures in Lollygagging. We're back to playing some deltagreen on a different day for one day only, or something like that. Holiday scheduling is going to get all crazy, so we wanted to get some more deltagreen in, and we had the opportunity, and so we're going to play a little bit of that because we ended in a weird place, cliffhanger, some might call it, but we'll see how it goes, and we'll see if we can knock this scenario out. Though I don't think we can. I think what I thought was just going to be one scenario is going to end up being the whole campaign. That's what I think it's going to be. 37 episodes from the dust. So we'll see how it goes. Let's do a quick round table. Say who you are, who you're playing, etc., etc. We'll start with Long. Who you playing, man?
Playing Luca Dante, a DEA agent from New Jersey. I am currently sleep deprived most of the time, seeing visions from Hypoluxo, and my sand grows dangerously lower.
Yeah, I think you're down to 20-something? 26? 27?
25.
Around there? 25. Wow, you better do some fancy things to get some of that back. I don't know how. We'll see. Next up, Melissa, who are you playing?
So I am playing Maggie Eberly, who apparently dipped into her child's bank account last session to buy a really expensive book and is going to go home to
College
Morgie Porgy, as she affectionately calls her now tween daughter, and will deprive her of something she was looking for.
It was probably her college fund. I think that makes sense. Maybe you just tipped into the college fund a little bit.
Something like that, yeah.
Well, maybe not, because that one. Yeah, I know that one doesn't have any immediate impact. Yeah. Okay. Well, you'll have to sort it out. You don't got to worry about it right now because we're not going to do any home scenes tonight. But at some point, that's gonna manifest, and then she and her friends are gonna put a hood over your head and they're gonna drive you away, and hold your ransom against yourself. I think that works. All right, next up, Steven. Who are you playing, buddy?
I'm playing Declan G.W. Ellis. You've probably heard of him. He's a world-renowned author, tops the New York Times bestseller list pretty much every week. You know, he's just writing book after book after book, and they always sell out. Currently in a bad way, only with 3 hit points. Sanity's doing fine, though, so I got that on Luca. But I'm in some trouble. Someone also just punched me in the face. So, not cool, bro.
Let's be honest though, you kind of deserved it, right? As everyone,
I said this in the YouTube chat, in the comments, so if you haven't checked them out, go ahead. But I tried to make things right, and Maggie said we shouldn't go back. So I feel like Declan's the good guy in this team, and then Maggie is the one at fault. Maggie
said that a group of people should not return to the scene of a horrific crime still ongoing carrying AK-47s. Yeah, Maggie said that.
I'm glad we're on the same page, Jeff.
Wrong one.
Yeah, she's completely at fault.
Totally normal people with AKs.
Right.
Totally fine.
Yes.
Totally
yes. That was the right play. That was the thing that should have happened. I'm sorry, you were muted.
Firearms. So I would have gotten at least 1 out of 5 of them.
Sure. It's always real interesting where these scenarios go. When you kind of take the notes and kind of all right, this is the information I have, and then oh shit, okay, this is happening, and then there we go. And then finally, we have our youngest and most inexperienced deltagreen agent, but boy, is she gaining some. Ashley, tell us about Lisa.
I'm playing Lisa Young. She is a FEMA agent, or project manager, I should say. And we had a great session last time, at least Maggie and Lisa did. We got a lot of info gathering done. We've got some additional questions that we're going to look forward to and some research we need to do now.
Get to hear about Yearning of a 1960s cop. It was so much fun.
I loved it. And then Declan lost his mind. And Lisa does not know what to think anymore. Shit's getting too weird. But yeah.
Too weird?
Declan lost.
Do you want out?
Luke is the one going crazy.
Oh, no.
Because if you
The
want
way out is a bullet in the brain. No, thank you.
Let's go to, all you gotta do is go to Starbucks and start talking about deltagreen. That's all you gotta do. Anyhow, let's do a quick summary and then we will get started. So last session we did some follow up on the aftermath at Declan's hotel after he had taken an object out of a deltagreen box that he was not supposed to take out, and it seemed to somehow summon a creature of terrible violence. He managed to flee among the commotion, but was probably seen in doing so. You contacted the group. Maggie, Luca, the three of you met up at the We Store You facility where you actually grabbed that item. You put it back, which was funny. And then you tried to convince them, as we said, to take the guns and go back to, something. But you guys did manage to talk him down. A bunch of news stories started popping up about the chaos, or about 2 dozen dead, a bunch more injured. We're closing in a couple weeks away from the 10th anniversary of 9/11, actually. So there's a lot of concern brewing within some of the New York media and various people. So various things you heard on the radio or on TV or in newspapers, etc. So there's a lot of concern going around. Luca, you did take Declan to a motel so he could lay low. While there in the morning, early afternoon, you started making a series of calls to the construction workers at the Garrettson Mansion renovation. Some folks ignored your calls, but you did manage to get through and talk to a few. You talked to Arturo Dominguez, Mark Garrity, Peter Platt. Dominguez kind of confirmed some experiences with the strangeness of Unit 35, an incident where all of the materials and tools were suddenly rearranged, and he was just in the porta-john for a minute, and it was kind of creepy. Garrity mentioned hearing children's voices and early in the mornings, and sometimes what sounded like music that he said was church-like, so organ-like, something like that. And he also kind of pointed you in the direction of Peter Platt, who you did also talk to. That was a rough conversation. He apparently found an odd panel, the very panel presumably that you all took in Unit 35. And when you confronted him, he said it was just a professional curiosity. It was really interesting, him being a carpenter, and there's all these different engravings and stuff on it. And he just kind of wanted to see how they did it because it was very old. It also got very defensive, and he didn't really understand why an FBI agent was investigating this while all that craziness was going on in the city. Meanwhile, as Ashley has referred to, Maggie and Lisa, you found an occult bookshop in Queens called the Inkwell. It was owned and run by a woman by the name of Lavonna Hearn. She was an older woman, very generally friendly and helpful in a New York kind of way. She pointed out to that blurry photo you had of the wedding between Sidham and Garrettson, how it could be mistaken for like a Catholic imagery, but in fact, it might be like a cult of the day by the name of the Visitation of the Blessed Woman. That was kind of an offshoot in a way. They deified Lilith. They apparently had all sorts of things that they were associated with. It was like bored white people in the 1920s or 19aughs or whatever it might be. Sacrifice, dimensional travel, producing the Messiah. She gave you like a laundry list of common cult behavior that they might have been associated with them, with like the mags of the day. The sacrifice stories, she said, at least held some truth, because when they investigated the Sidham home in Park Place, they found a network of strange tunnels that crisscrossed the city, kind of went over to the East River. The home and a series of homes collapsed the tunnels, trapped a bunch of police and killed them at the same time. They found a bunch of bodies underneath there as well. In addition to these, Lavonna also had some of the books from Sidham's collection, because Sidham was a renowned occult collector before his marriage. And she also had a lover in the 60s when she was first getting started, who she talked to, beautiful boy, clean shaven, who got our access to some of those books when they came out of evidence lockup in the early 60s. She offered to sell you what was left, because she had sold a bunch of the stuff prior, but she still had a couple of them left. You all bought one of them. And then back at the motel, Declan, you were growing anxious, you were restless, and then you headed out to a nearby drugstore while Luca was making his calls. And that's when you noticed at a certain point that you were being followed. I asked you to make a roll back then, if you recall, which you failed, which allowed you still were able to see the one person that was following you. But what you didn't get to see, because you failed, was that there was a van that was also kind of trailing you at the same time. And that van is what you encountered down below the city in a parking garage where the man had kind of lured you into a parking lot, punched you in the face, put a hood over your head, and threw you into the back of that van and drove away. Anything else? We good?
At what point will
Good.
Luca realize that Declan needs a babysitter?
I don't know. We'll find out. We'll find out.
Given the way Long played previous characters, possibly never.
I might
That's
need
fair.
one myself.
Yeah. I feel like we're just going to have to start up a new campaign here. All right. So we're going to pick up early afternoon. It's Monday. We're going to be with Lisa and Maggie. That's where we're going to start. You went to the Inkwell. You also went to a couple other shops. Specifically, Lisa, you dragged Maggie at one point to a nearby store looking for a gift for your daughter, Jamie. You specifically were looking for crystals. Maybe we even got a recommendation from Lavana about other places you could go. So you do manage. So the two of you kind of go up and down. You've got the book. One of you's carrying it. Maggie, you probably still have it. Remember, it was nicely packaged. You got her card and her Hotmail address if you ever want to get in touch with her.
Yeah.
That kind of stuff. And you pop out onto the street. I want both of you to roll alertness tests. And I'll give you alertness plus 20.
Sweet. That's a 60.
Yeah.
All right. Off to a better start. 11.
Oh, critical success.
18.
If this were Haunted West, that would be really bad. Okay. The two of you pop out, and you both get the sense as you start walking and you're trying to find where you parked the car that you, so we'll assume it was on the street somewhere or wherever you could find a space, a couple blocks away from the Inkwell. You couldn't park right out in front. You just found wherever you could. As you're walking, it's muggy, it's overcast, it's very hot, it's late August, and you both kind of get the sense through your training, you think you're being followed. There's a few times where you've kind of stopped at an intersection, looked back, and you see an individual kind of turn right at the same time as you look back, and then doesn't seem to continue, pretends to be on a phone or pretends to be looking at newspapers, things like that. Cross the street, they sort of parallel you for a little while until you get the sense that you're being followed. Male, 40s, maybe 50s.
And
What do you
we
wanna
don't
do?
recognize him?
Doesn't look familiar to you.
Okay. So, and here's what we do. So Maggie's going to go into like a description of like how to like make some turns and like loop-de-loo back and see if we can be the ones tailing the tail.
Okay. That sounds great. So the two of you go ahead and give me like a, I don't know, stealth test or something like that.
Cool. That thing that I have a 10 in. I'm going to.
Yeah. You're the one who came up with the idea, not me.
Oh, no. I know.
I didn't tell you to do
This is, I'm going to take a couple audience boosts.
Besides,
with that.
failing is how you improve in deltagreen.
Yes. I did a lot of improving last session.
Nice.
It is a 99. This is a great balance to my two first rolls.
Okay.
Lisa, what did
right.
you get?
I got a 3.
Fantastic. So the two of you managed to concoct a scheme where you kind of split up. One of you goes one way, one of you goes the other. You both are kind of looking over your shoulder every now and then, nonchalantly here and there. You know, you stop for a second, check a window, look the reflection. Lisa, you're pretty sure you shook the tail. You kind of with a bait at a certain point, and you were trying to lure them away, and you look around, you don't see them anymore. So maybe that was a good thing. Maggie, you kind of veer around a different side, and you do the same thing. Look at the reflection. There's a mob of people, but you don't see the kind of the gray, brownish, blackish hair, whatever it might be. Again, you don't kind of see it popping up anywhere. You just see a lot of people constantly moving here and there. No one's really eyeing you down. And you're pretty sure you've lost him. And so as you kind of come around and sort of veer, you kind of go towards your car, Maggie. You're kind of walking here and there. And somehow, you're not exactly sure what happened, but there's the man again. He's leaning up against your car, just as if he's just kind of nonchalantly waiting like it's his own car. Lisa, you've managed to come back around. You are on the far side of the same block. You can see at a distance, there's Maggie. There's the guy leaning up against the car. And as you get a little closer, Maggie, you see their head look up. And Steven, why don't you go ahead and describe who it is that she sees?
You see a muscular man, average height, wider build. He's got graying hair, kind of becoming like the silver fox. And he is wearing a white coat, red shirt, white pants to match. The sleeves are rolled up. He's got his sunglasses on right now. I know I had to get Jeff. Sunglasses on right now. And he's smoking a cigarette just casually as can be.
Can we help you?
Doesn't seem like you're capable of helping yourselves.
And she's just sort of assessing what would be a good question to ask to try to assess kind of where his interest is coming from. What is it exactly that you think we need assistance with?
Not making a mess, stepping in a big pile of shit. Got a whole list.
Well,
I'm here to get things back on track.
Understood. Perhaps we should get into the vehicle and not have this conversation out here.
After you. I opened the door for her.
And Maggie, you're confident you left that thing locked.
Yeah, this is... and so Maggie just sort of looks over to Lisa with
who succeeded at her stealth, by the way. So Lisa,
you don't know me.
You could have approached as quietly as you wanted with neither of them having seen you, neither of them having picked up on where you actually are. Like they both know you're around probably, but they don't actually see you, and you did manage to elude detection.
Yeah, so then that's when Lisa kind of pops up from the other side of the car and maybe startles you.
She was in the car the whole time. She's in the backseat over the door. There she is, laying in it.
Yeah.
That's why it was unlocked.
And Maggie has kind of been in this, like thinking that she's been around the block a few times and she's superior. And so they're sort of like startled that she's the one that sort of got the one over from kind of the newbie in the group. And so she looks startled, but then sort of gives you a look that's kind of approving. And sighs and gets in the car.
Customer service is like all Lisa kind of mumbles to you in answer of why she was able to sneak around people. Because like when I worked at the grocery store, that was the only way you were getting on your break is if you could blend in and go. But she turns to this new guy. So who are you?
I'm the help. And I just get in the back seat behind Maggie.
That's where Lisa was sitting. So she like awkwardly scoots over.
I'll push you out of the way. Give you a little nudge. Not violently.
Lisa gets knocked out the other side of the car into traffic. Gets run over by a tow truck. All right, let's get a new one. Okay. All right.
What do we call you?
Does everyone get inside the car, by the way? Do you get... Okay.
So it's Maggie's driving.
Maggie up front.
Declan and Lisa are in the back seat together.
Or whoever this person is. Well,
sorry,
perhaps you should tell Zoom that your name is not Declan anymore.
We don't know his name yet.
That's true. Okay. So you get inside. You start driving away, or do you just kind of stay here? Because you hear honking from people as they see.
Oh yeah,
they just
like
saw a group of people get inside a car. So you hear like
you need to vacate the parking space. Like that is an
Okay.
expectation. So Maggie will begin driving and is so thrilled that she's got someone that she doesn't know sitting right behind her in a vehicle. That sounds like
I'll start giving her
good things.
Giving her directions of where to go as well.
Okay.
Taking her the fastest route to the motel.
Okay. You do find yourself at a certain point, Maggie, as you're making these lefts and these rights, kind of going through. If you're listening, if you're following, are you just following when he says like turn left here, right here, go through this light?
Yeah.
Do you do that kind of? Okay. All right. At a certain point, it dawns on you. You can kind of see this is over towards where the motel is.
Which motel?
The
The one
where
Declan was staying in?
The one Declan and Luca were staying at, yeah. Or Luca had Declan hold up, I should say.
The hotel.
The motel. There's a hotel.
Motel,
where all
not
the
the
people
Not the
are.
hotel.
okay.
The motel.
Not
yeah.
okay. Yeah. Not the hotel where the awful things happen. The motel where they are.
Motel. Holiday
Well,
Inn.
speaking of awful things happening in a motel, let's cut back. Luca, you've been on the phone all day. You've been trying to get a hold of as many of these construction workers as you can. Some of them just have gone to voicemail. A few of them maybe answered the phone and hung up, thinking you maybe were some sort of telemarketer or crank call. You have managed to talk to a few of them. Declan left. He mumbled something about just going to running around the corner to the store. His stuff is still here. He's still got a lot of his stuff. His normal bags, laptops unfurled, etc., etc. But we'll say it's been about an hour now since Declan's been gone. What are you up to, Luca?
I believe I am restless because I didn't sleep the night before.
Sure.
So I'm going to tell Declan to pick me up some sleeping pills while I go out back to the storage container and pick up the plank because I need that.
Okay. So Declan's not here. So Declan has been gone for about an hour.
Right. I'll just send him a message.
Okay. So you're just going to send it. Okay. You're just going to text him. Okay. All right. And you're going to head back to the storage container.
Yeah.
All right. So you send a message. You have your own vehicle. We've established, and you start heading back. The motel you're in is in Queens-ish. So like you're not that far away. Like you specifically got a place outside of where Declan had been staying in the hotel. So it's a little bit further away. So you were kind of in this sort of Queens neighborhood. And so you head, we'll say you're heading to the storage place. You get out and it's got this fenced in area, etc. And you get a text message back and it just says, "Will do." And it's from Declan.
Perfect. I'll wave to the guard at the storage place. Go and pick up the plank.
He looks at you, but if you recall, you guys had a weird encounter with him. And it's always the same person, it seems like. But he just kind of looks up, and he doesn't give you a particularly friendly nod this time. He just kind of looks at you. He doesn't stop you. He doesn't get in your way, anything like that. But he just kind of stares at you with this judgmental face. And then you kind of go inside. No problem. Now what?
I'm going to be in and out. Hopefully retrieve this wooden piece.
Okay. So you
The
want
teak
when you
wooden
say
piece?
The what?
The teak wooden piece?
oh jeez.
No, not
Oh,
that.
no.
No, not that one.
Okay, so you go inside. The code still works. You get inside and you see all of the contents that you've seen before are still here. I think you did take the money bag, but you're coming back. Now, what is it you're doing while you're here, Luca?
Yeah, I'm looking for the wooden plank that we deposited here a couple days ago. That we got from Room 35.
Yeah, I think it was just yesterday, actually. It might have been just yesterday. But yes,
Okay.
you do that yesterday morning, because that was after your stakeout, I think. Something like that. But yeah, it's still here. It's leaned up against the side of the container. There's like the stack, like there's all those stacks of like magazines and stuff like that, like someone's lifetime collection of like National Geographic and Reader's Digest, and you just kind of stacked it nearby. It's still there.
I'd like to take it out, put it in the truck.
Okay.
Or the car.
Okay, you pick it up. It's very heavy. Remember, it's like a 4x3 but you're able to carry it. Put it over your shoulder. You can kind of just carry it on your side. But it's very heavy, but you're able to take it back, kind of lock it up. Guy looks up at you again, just sort of watches you as you leave, doesn't say anything, and you load it back up in your car.
And then I'm going to find a way to launder this money. Which is somehow fudges the numbers to known as Pizza Shop.
Okay. You want to try to get the money that you just took, like the money that you stole from the Delta Green box, and you want to somehow get that into your family's restaurant? Okay. All right, one sec. Let me write a note
to like
for myself.
replace the money you stole or like borrowed? Oh shit, okay.
Okay. So first, you get in your car, close the door, go to back up. You look up in your rearview mirror, and with a start, you see in the back seat is a soaking, bloated woman that you have seen multiple times. She says nothing, she does nothing, but there she is looking at you. What do you do, Luca?
I quickly draw my gun at it and point.
Do you turn and point, or are you just sort of like behind your back?
Oh, I turn and point.
Fire? You turn and point, and you see that there's no one in the back seat.
I'm just looking back and forth at the mirror, the back seat.
You look up the mirror's all clear. You look at the back seat, mirror's all clear. Go ahead and roll a search test. Or what is your search? What's your search?
Oh, it's 74. Pretty good.
Okay, you don't even need to roll. There on the back seat, we're going to call these leather seats just for ease of purpose. You see that there's some moisture on the seat.
Let's see if there's like a drink spilled.
You look around. No drinks.
I'll chalk it up to hallucinations, no sleep. I'll try to take some breaths to calm down.
Okay.
And just drive off.
Okay, perfect. So you get back in your car, start driving off, and you head over to, what's the name of the restaurant? Because isn't your restaurant in New Jersey?
Yeah, it's Nona's Pizza.
Okay, so you cross over and you start heading over into Nona's Pizza, and we'll fade from there and come back to that in a second. And then we return to the group of Maggie, the new person, and Lisa. As you arrive in the general vicinity of this motel in which you know that Declan and Luca have been staying. I would say because I say it's probably unlikely that Maggie or Lisa has a key or anything like that. It might just be like Luca and Declan have something, but you have arrived.
This where we're headed? And she's looking in the rearview mirror at the dude sitting behind her in the car.
Sure is. Upstairs, room 207. Let's go. And I'll get out of the car.
And Maggie's been staying at a pretty nice hotel with she and Chelsea over the weekend. So kind of being in this place now, she's like, yay, great. 20 what? 20.
And from this point, I'm willing to lead them. Like, I'm not going to stay behind Maggie or anything like that.
Okay. Do Maggie and Lisa know about this motel? Like, in terms of, like, because you were just... Because I couldn't tell.
Lisa does not.
Okay, Lisa doesn't. What about Maggie? Because Maggie, you just made a joke like you didn't know about this place. So I wasn't sure if that was just for... So did the two of you not know that Luca... I was playing it that you guys knew that Luca and Declan...
I thought Maggie did. I thought she went with them here afterwards, and then.
Oh yeah, I might have just forgotten that.
Yeah. It's.
I think so too.
The only one who didn't go.
You guys have generally been keeping up in touch with each other, so I feel like you guys would know. Maybe not. I don't know. I'm not sure. Maybe you don't know the room number. Maybe you don't. But I do think you guys know that.
No, you're right. Yeah.
Okay.
This is true.
So when he mentions 207, second floor, that's literally the room that Luca and Declan have been staying.
So this is weird. Name?
I'm ignoring her at this point. Just walking up to the room. By the time I get to the door frame, I'll just lean to the side and give it a casual knock, take off my sunglasses. You can see that I am getting older. You see that there are wrinkles around the eyes. They're a little bit baggy. They don't open all the way, but they still seem sharp. And I just knock and wait.
A couple beats go by. It's a very cool, slick moment. And then the door never opens. No one answers.
All right. What do I got to do to Jimmy the lock?
You don't
have
have
to me. I wasn't sure.
Yeah, you don't. There. So I'm thinking that Maggie might have a key. So
we can say that if you want. Sure.
Wait, let's just get inside, and so she'll kind of fiddle around in her larger than it needs to be bag and find the key.
Okay. Open the door. Go inside. There is no Luca. There is no Declan. You do see that Declan's things, laptop, some of his various stuff is in the room. You can see that Luca's gone, and no note or anything like that. Empty motel room.
Where's your team?
We're working. She says with a little more confidence than as if she knows what they're doing, while she's grabbing her phone and is like kind of putting her hand up for Lisa and him to talk. And she's going to try to quickly call Luca.
Okay.
I'll go across the room and start picking up all Declan's things and putting them into his bag and piling it together.
Okay. All right. So two things. So Vincent, you're picking stuff up. It's his basically his like a messenger bag of some kind. It's got like it's got copies of his book. It's got a laptop. It's got, I would say, very intriguing to you, Vincent, that there is a very old book in here that looks to be kind of half burned, half torn.
I lift it up and look at the group.
I'm sorry, do you have something to say?
Kind of idiot carries this around.
I mean, it's clearly not being carried around because it's in a room right now and the person that has it isn't here. So it's...
I just turn away from her, start piling stuff back in.
Okay. And then Maggie, you call Luca. Luca, you see your phone ring. Maybe your hands-free device comes on. You're almost to the restaurant and you can see however you put Maggie in to your phone pops up.
The moment this strange dude starts picking up Declan stuff, Lisa's going to start calling Declan.
Okay. Goes to voicemail.
And she's going to keep spamming
You're like, hey, you've reached a perennial bestseller, New York Times bestseller list, Declan G.W. Ellis. Sorry I couldn't get the phone right now. I'm probably busy writing a new draft of a new New York Times bestseller to be coming out and such and such. For business inquiries, please contact my agent, and kind of goes to that for a bit.
It's pretty much that, except it's someone else's voice. It sounds like he got on Fiverr and like hired a voice actor to do the voicemail for him.
It's like a Morgan Freeman voice or something.
Yeah, exactly.
Hello, welcome to Declan G. I can't do a Morgan Freeman voice. Okay, so Lisa goes to voicemail.
Why are you touching Declan stuff?
I'm here to help. Relax.
See, but you keep telling me to relax, but you're actually not telling me shit. So now I'm not relaxed.
This isn't the kind of stuff you want lying around in a motel room. I agree.
This should have been left in the storage unit.
All right. Well, they're not here. Let's go to the storage unit, put it back.
So does Luca answer Maggie's call when Maggie...
Yes.
Yeah.
It's me.
Yes. I'm glad it's you. You are not here, though. We seem to have... Our team seems to have expanded, and you are not here. And...
Where's Declan? Like Lisa yells across the room.
Yeah. Declan
Kelly went
is
to the
not
store around the corner.
here either. How long ago was that? Because when we get someone new on the team, it usually is not a good sign for the other people that were on the team.
About an
I
hour.
laugh in the background there.
Is this like a normal thing? Like,
Where are you?
I'm headed to Jersey. Do you need me?
I'm sorry. Is there a lead that you're following up in Jersey?
Oh, no, I'm just visiting the fam.
Because we're not. And she sort of lowers her voice a little bit because, like, someone new has joined the team, and like that probably means we're not doing good things. And so she kind of lowers her voice, but she's like, "What are you doing? Taking another personal trip? We're trying to figure this shit out."
Personal, I'm in the area.
I'm just keep an eye out. This one kind of snuck up out of nowhere.
If you give me trouble, just give me a call.
Yes, you'll do so much good for me while you're in Jersey, and I am here. Get back. Maggie will just hang up.
Okay.
And she'll sigh and she'll turn around. Well, Luca's fine. And now what? That's what I'm asking you. And
You're not just missing one member of your team, are you?
and she'll look over to Lisa, like, you were calling Declan, right? I can't.
it went
hear.
straight to voicemail. And Luca said he went to the store like an hour ago. But
Look, are you? If you're here to help us, give us some information. What? You're here. You clearly know things. Fill us in.
Actually, it's going to be the other way around. You need to fill me in on what you've learned about this case so we can close it. Let's do it on the way.
On the way where?
storage unit. We've got that thing in here that shouldn't be here.
Thank you, Lisa. You're a sharp one.
So we can't just tell you that we put the thing in the storage unit. We have to go there so that you can see with your own eyes that we put the thing in the storage unit.
No, the thing that Declan had in his bag that we should not have had.
This book. I pull it out and show it to her.
Okay.
Does that book have any of like the runes or anything that okay, cool.
No, it's so again, it's a very, very old book. Handwritten, appears to be Latin. It has very obvious tear marks. Looks like several pages have been burned or partially burned. The one kind of interesting thing about it is that there's a so I guess why, I mean, like if you really look at it, I don't know if you have, but the one kind of thing that sort of stands out other than those details, very, very old, is that it says there's a little handwritten note on the back, that on the back cover. So when Vincent holds it up, you probably can see it as he's holding it up. It says 9920.229989212.333. This is it.
Would I recognize that as like a coordinate?
No, you have no idea what this
Okay,
means.
okay.
And then I've gone over this before, but I do want you guys to know a green box is specific. Like we've talked about this. A green box is a space where a bunch of shit that is not supposed to be in the world is stored or hidden away from the world, which is why like you guys were told if you found any occult books or any other shit to put them there. You guys have taken two things out. Just want to point that out. You took two things out.
Don't forget the money. That's cursed too.
I'm sorry. You guys have taken three things out. Thank you very much, dude.
Just remember that when you kill everyone else off.
I would like you to
Just remember.
continue. Guys have taken.
That's fair. That's fair.
Wait, this isn't an equipment stash?
I mean, there were guns, right? There's nothing wrong with guns. Old-fashioned imported American hardware.
Equipment. It's the. Yep. Okay.
So anyhow, that's what's being held up, and so that's what he's holding up. And again, I'm just gonna call you Steven until you actually introduce yourself, and you haven't. So Steven's character, you would recognize this. I know your skill is. You would recognize what this is from a conceptual standpoint. Like, you've probably heard of the text before. I don't think you have read it, but I think you've probably heard of the text before. So you maybe not have seen this particular copy, but there are other copies. This is handwritten, so like this is kind of a very unique find. But yeah.
And I would know that that's not a good thing that I've heard of it, right?
Oh yeah. I mean, generally, the premise of deltagreen is that you don't want the more you know is the worse it gets.
It's the opposite of the little PSA.
Yeah.
The more you know.
Yeah.
Okay. So we're driving.
Luca, did you
Again.
leave anything in the motel?
No, I didn't have much.
Okay. So after I pack up all of Declan's things, I do a sweep, just make sure there's nothing left at all.
What's your search?
And then, you see, I learned the system now, so I learned the important skills. Search is 50.
They're all important. The only thing that you notice in here is that there are some dirty, watery footprints in the bathroom. And they seem to extend onto the carpet of the motel.
Ew, what?
It's like someone took a shower and they were really dirty, and then you can see that it's not like super obvious, but like with a 50, you can kind of see the residue.
Would that strike me as odd? More
I
than
mean,
just like filthy?
It's just likely. I mean, one of them might have just gotten dirty and taken a shower, and they don't have good hygiene. That's probably all I would think it would strike as your character right now.
As long as there's nothing like that seems like a personal item, I just want to like sweep the room. Not really worried about wiping things down, but just want to make sure there's nothing left, and then get out of there. Open the door for Maggie again when we get in the car.
Does Lisa see the footprints since she was at Hypoluxo? Does that freak her out at all?
I mean, what's your search?
Only 20.
Yeah, I don't think. I mean, it's not that noticeable. Like, this is like stuff's. It's just sort of there, and he specifically said he was doing a sweep, so he might have seen them. So I wouldn't say it's the most obvious thing in the world. Okay, so you guys leave, get back into the vehicle, and you head over to the wonderful storage unit. We're gonna cut over then to Luca Dante. Luca, you arrive at your family's pizza place. It's about an hour plus to get over to Newark from where you were, plus traffic. So we're going to say it's pushing evening time. You probably had caught some of rush hour in doing so. And so the sun is probably on its way down when you arrive. So it's a Monday. Do you have a really nice restaurant that's closed on Mondays, or do you have just like you're open all the time?
It's a regular old diner.
Okay.
Things out pizzas.
A lot of fancy high-end restaurants are closed on Mondays. So yeah, they're up. They're getting ready for dinner service. Do you go inside?
Yeah.
Go inside. Meager crowd. It's a Monday. It's a meager crowd. But you can see maybe your brother is there, who we've met. Maybe he's there working. Are there any other members of your family here?
I'd say maybe my father.
Okay. All right. Does he have a name?
I haven't named him, so we can give him a name. He can be Tony.
Tony. Okay.
Does he go by Disco?
He's not Tony Inferno. He's Tony Dante.
Oh, my bad.
Trying to say it out loud. Okay. Tony Dante is there. They're getting ready. They're kind of doing their prep. There's a meager bunch of folks here. It's not particularly busy as you come in. Are you carrying like the bag of money? Have you hidden it? Like what does it look like when you apply?
I can't. I'm not going to carry all that. I was planning on hiding most of it in the apartment.
Oh, okay. So,
but I'm here to like fudge the numbers in accounting, like book wise.
Oh, okay. I'm sure they let you go into the back, no problem. Your family, right? Like it's not you don't work here, but like they're like, hey, Luca,
hey, Marco, Papa. Oh yeah, give me a slice.
Okay. So they kind of go about it, they kind of fix you up and stuff. They're busy kind of getting stuff ready. It's getting into the point where there's probably gonna be more people. It's really just the two of them, we'll say right now. A small family-owned place. And you sneak off into the office, the manager's office and stuff. So what are you looking to do? Walk me through this.
Whatever, like accounting or bookkeeping. It's like a skill check that like
let's
launders money smell. Yeah.
I don't think either of us are particularly good at forensic accounting. So let's go ahead and do what is it? Isn't there a finance? No, not finance.
There's an actual accounting skill.
Accounting, perfect. Let's do that. Give me an accounting roll. Or let's see. If you can do accounting. Accounting's fine. If there's something else, I'm looking at your accounting. You don't have good accounting.
Yeah, it's not that.
It's not very good. Yeah. Just do accounting as you try to. I will give you a plus 20 because you do have like criminology, and since this is a criminal act, we'll give you a little boost to it. So we'll say accounting plus 20 because you're trying to be, sly about it. You probably have seen stuff like this before.
Sweet. I'll even take a boost to make it 40.
Look at this guy cheating.
Yeah, I'm doing a little cheating.
Okay.
He's doing a handwritten receipt. 100,000 pizzas at $6 each.
Okay.
Oh, it's a 58.
Okay.
Yeah, it looks good enough.
You think you do the right thing. As far as Luca knows, you have adjusted the books to properly reflect like this not so much like this large influx of money, but rather to like kind of change some of the nightly returns, the nightly deposits, things like that, to suggest that they've been making over the course of the last 60 or 90 days or something, a little bit extra here, a little bit extra here, a little bit extra here, a little bit extra here. And so you're just boosting it here and there. And you think you're covering your tracks. You're going into the Excel spreadsheet, and you're changing the numbers and you're being really happy. And so as far as you're concerned, everything's fine. At a certain point, your father will walk in, Tony. You're like, hey, what are you doing back here?
Oh, checking the books.
Check. Why are you checking the books? Your mother's gonna kill me if she sees you working on the book. She hates when you're back. What are you doing? What are you doing?
I'm worried about the fan.
You're worried about the fan? We're worried about you. If you take a look at yourself in the mirror. Have you taken a look?
It's been a while.
Well, come here. And he kind of grabs you, and he kind of in like a rough, but Papa kind of, I don't know what the fuck I'm talking about right now, as he grabs you and he shows you to a reflective pan. Look at you. It's like you haven't slept in a week. Look at this.
They're working me to the bone.
God damn it. As you look into the reflection, you see it's not a particularly good reflection, obviously. It's very clean, as your family keeps everything very clean. You see yourself. You see your father. And between the two of you, you see a very large shadow. Go ahead and roll a sand test.
Come on. A crit success, 11.
Wow. Okay. I'll tell you what, take a point of sand back as you have almost begun to normalize this. Now, it's not that, it's still freaking you out, but you don't show any signs of being freaked out by it. You managed to keep it down. You managed to mind over matter. Maybe you close your eyes, you open them back up, and the shadow's gone.
You're right, Papa. I'm gonna go take a nap.
Okay. You can go home. Go home. Your mom would love to see you. She's back. She's not working today. She hasn't been feeling well.
Sounds good.
Okay. So you go back to your family's home. Is that right? Or are you just lying to your dad?
No, I can't. I have to stash this money in the apartment. I got some things to do.
Okay. All right. So You lie to your dad. No roll necessary. I'm gonna assume he knows you're lying, and he's gonna find out you're lying in a few minutes anyway when your mom says you never showed up. So no need to roll. And then you start heading back into the city. Let's cut back then to the three amigos as they make it back to the storage unit again, where the same security guy is there, and he just looking at you guys as you wander in. He has never seen Steven's new character before, so he's just, he kind of looks him up and down, like he's really getting a good eye here and there. And then he kind of gives you a sort of a head nod, a guy nod, and lets the three, and like, he can't stop you from going. You guys punch the code in, you go in, so it's not like he's stopping you, but you've been noticed, basically, is where this is at. If it ever comes to testifying, he'll be able to identify you. So you guys go inside the unit. So we're at the storage unit again.
I think this is the first time Lisa's been here.
Okay.
That's true.
So Lisa, I mean, Ashley, you've heard the description, so I won't necessarily go through it all, but I will say
I haven't been here very often. Would you mind describing the whole thing to me?
So one thing, Maggie, that you notice, Maggie, were you here when they deposited I think you've been, I'm trying to remember.
Maggie was here the very last time when they put the book back and grabbed the cash and the guns, but that was the only time she had been there.
And put the panel in here too.
I think the panel was just me and Declan.
No. I think it was just Luca and Declan for the panel.
Yeah,
that's
they
when
did that
Declan took everything.
Yeah.
Okay, they did it in the morning of. Well, okay. I wish I would have looked into this. I didn't realize we're going to be spending 100 times.
I know.
So
I know.
You guys went to do your stakeout. Then you, I think, went into the greed box at this point, and that's when you put it in, right?
Yeah, it was just yesterday in game.
Right, but
Declan took everything out, and it was the same time that he put the panel in.
But that night is when you met with Maggie. So Maggie would have seen the green box with the panel there because you would have already dropped it off.
Yeah. Okay. She would have seen it there. Yeah.
You see what I'm saying?
Yeah. Yes.
Okay.
Yes.
Okay. Cool. So Maggie, what's your search?
1 second.
1.
41.
That's really low. 41. Yeah, you would notice that giant 4x3 engraved panel that seems to have something to do with this entire operation is missing now.
Oh shit!
And if you would like, you can roll a search test in addition to that. So that's obvious. Go ahead and roll a search test.
Okay. I'm gonna take a boost, see if I can get this to at least 50-50.
Okay.
96.
Yeah, that's what you see.
So So remember, and I'm assuming that Maggie and Lisa were filling in Mystery Dude on the way over to the storage unit.
That's entirely up to you if you want to tell him anything.
So the thing that we put here that's supposed to stay here, not here anymore. It was here last time I was here. It's not.
He just looks at you completely impassive, not a single reaction. His sunglasses are off and he's just staring at you.
Lisa pinches the bridge of her nose and then pulls out her cell phone and she calls Luca. Like, she starts with Luca.
Mm-hmm.
Do you answer?
Yeah, it's up to you, Luca. We'll say this is probably why you're in the office, maybe. Screwing around with accounting. Almost done.
Sure, I'll pick up.
Okay, phone picks up. You hear clickety click, 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 as he's working
Hi.
on a computer, apparently.
It's a me.
You're doing it on purpose now, you son of a bitch.
Did you come to the storage unit this morning?
Yes, I was there.
And you took the panel?
Assume I know what she's talking about, and I'll just say yeah.
It's the thing that you took.
Okay.
So I think you would know what she's talking about.
Okay.
Doesn't mean you have to tell her the truth. Just say it.
Yeah.
I have no reason to lie.
Okay.
Why?
No, I do.
I was gonna say, I thought you kind of do. That's why I made a face.
I just needed it.
That's concerning. Where are you?
You should
He's
know.
in Jersey.
Okay. Are you coming back to the motel?
No.
Don't bother. This dude took all of his stuff. Don't bother coming back to that.
So Lisa looks at him and so where should we meet?
Looking
She's
at new
directed this
dude.
at Steven. Yeah.
We need to work on the case.
Yeah, he has the panel.
He's going to put the panel back.
Are you and Lisa will repeat Steven's question. Are you taking it back?
It wasn't a question.
Yeah, I'll take it back.
No. I think you're misunderstanding me. Are you taking this back to the mansion?
No, oh, no.
Maggie and Lisa, you can stop me. But Maggie will kind of go over and like put her hand out for the phone.
Sure. And she hands it. And because Lisa
Just to put it on speaker.
Is there a problem? I'm doing some work here.
Yes, there's a problem. There's shit that is supposed to be here. We are here. The shit's not here. Get here.
I've been up for 24 hours. I'm in Jersey. It's hours away.
It's not. It's not that
mistyping
far
a couple
away.
zeros in the numbers while I'm on this conversation.
Okay. Catch yourself 2-3 hour nap, and then you need to call us back.
What's the plan?
Get your nap, and then call us back.
What's 2 or 3 hours going to do? I'm here.
You're not here, though. You're home.
Did you see what 2-3 hours did with the last thing that was supposed to be in here that didn't stay in here?
Also, has Declan called you? Where the fuck is Declan? He was with you.
I haven't heard from him. Do you need the panel now?
It should be in the storage unit and remain in the storage unit. Why'd you take it back out?
I'll explain it to you later. And I'm hang up.
Okay.
I look at Maggie. What kind of show are you running here?
They're giving me newbies.
Okay, but I have strengths. I'm a program manager. People should listen to me. I have ideas. I can organize things, but no one listens.
I've no, yeah, it's, sorry, I didn't mean that personally, just.
Don't be hard on yourself, Lisa. You handled that well. Next time, be a little tougher, though. Don't give him the nap. Tell him to come in now. And I start looking around the storage unit.
All right. Roll a search.
Specifically looking for things that look like they've been moved recently.
Okay.
19 under 50. Basically, I just want to make sure, like, I want to take stock of, like, what dust.
Steven's new character is rolling to see if he
How
sees what
deep
Steven's
is
last
this?
character did.
If his last character stole shit. Yeah, I get it. Steven's metagaming his own characters here.
I'm not metagaming. If I was
No, it's
metagaming,
fine.
I would know.
What? Okay, fair point. All right. a couple things I'm going to point out to you. I'm not going to go through the long, like everything that was supposed to be here is, with the exception of a couple things, is still here. So first of all, the panel is not here. Secondly, you do notice that there is some grainy yellow dust on the ground, and it does look like there was something that sat atop it. As you can see, a very clear frame, and it's almost like there's just like this tiny little outline of dust. Like think of like if you were doing a spray stencil kind of deal, and you lifted this nut. It's basically what it looks like. So something was here. It's not here now. And then you do notice that there is a large Home Depot bucket. There is like a dais, a pedestal sticking up out of it. There is a big spray painted sign that says "Do not touch." It does look like this thing has been slightly dragged across the floor and moved. Might just be like rearranged. Who knows? Two things catch your eye or your ears. In addition to all of this, one, there are some claw marks on the walls, and two, as you're looking around, as you're inspecting the Home Depot and the pedestal, you hear bzzz, and you watch as this teak wooden box that's sitting atop the dais begins to vibrate or shake just a little bit.
I purposefully look at the dais, and it looks like it's been moved recently, like you said.
Yeah.
I see the shake, and I look directly at Maggie.
That's what we just put back. I did not move that. Declan moved that. That's what we just put back.
You got lots of excuses. And I go and I start looking towards the books, and I put the book that Declan stole back in the pile.
Okay. No problem.
Would New Dude have said out loud that there were claw marks on the wall?
No, I wouldn't say anything that I didn't need to say.
Well, never mind then.
Fill me in on this case. We're going to close it.
There's a house. There was the thing in the house that was supposed to be here and isn't here anymore.
Do we want to do this here?
I look towards Lisa. Fill me in on the case. We're going to close this.
Lisa has notes with her, and she just gives you the file of the notes that she's had.
That's a prepared agent right there. And I take the file, and I walk out of the unit, and I get ready to close the door, waiting on them to come out.
Maggie, roll a search test as he does this.
Okay.
Lisa, you're welcome to do it too, actually, if you want.
15 under 41.
Okay. As
59.
Vincent grabs the door, kind of pulls it down just a little bit, kind of holding it above, waiting for you all. There's still plenty of room. It's one of those like garage style doors that comes down and up. And he just kind of pulls it down a touch or two. Maggie, you notice that on the inside, where the bottom-ish would be, there are all sorts of claw marks on the inside of this garage door.
And these were not here when we were just here dropping this off.
You would have you wouldn't know because you're inside, the things coming down.
Yeah.
You wouldn't really know.
Do the claw marks look in any way similar to the claw marks that were inside room 35?
Yeah. I mean, it depends. You gotta, if we're assuming, Maggie, you get up and you look and you inspect them.
Yes.
Pull out the phone that Lisa took the pictures of, and you do all that kind of stuff. If we're assuming you stop and do that and like start doing a full comparison while New Dude is standing there waiting, you do see some very clear similarities in terms of like the spacing of the claw marks, etc., the height it would be at relative to where Lisa found hers. It's kind of a weird calculation as the door's coming down, but yeah, like they look alike.
So Maggie will share that information that was there, and there were claw marks that Lisa's got, and then it was here, and it was here overnight, and then there were more claw marks inside.
Oh, great. Okay.
What does that have to do with Operation Blister?
We were attempting to see what supernatural was happening at the mansion. That was at the mansion. Something seemingly supernatural was happening at the mansion.
But we haven't officially confirmed that it is related to the disappearances, but it is something with the mansion itself.
So you believe that this panel allows some sort of creature access, summon, whatever it is, and it was stuck here in the storage unit last night. This very same panel that is now in Jersey.
Yes.
Yes, that had been behind the walls in Unit 35. And I
where it
saw
was
the
safely
creature.
contained. But now it's in Jersey.
And when we were doing research yesterday, we did speak with a woman, and we had discovered that the type of cult that the previous Sudam was like interested in, they were looking into things about like and she's trying to like think of the
Trans-dimensional.
yes, travel.
Good work, Lisa. Maggie, are you driving? Lisa, can we go over these notes?
Feel free.
And like Lisa feels so awkward. But Lisa will wait to continue talking about the notes until we're securely in the car.
Okay. You close and you leave. You hear bzz, as the teak box vibrates. I want to just be clear. Does anyone touch it?
Absolutely not.
Okay, just checking.
It says do not touch.
If you want me to do it again, Jeff, I will.
If you want to do it, dude, you go right ahead. That will definitely change. That'll definitely change some things. But if you would like to, go right ahead. Okay. So you get back out in your car. Luca, we're going to come back to you. You've been driving back to your apartment? Is that right? All right. And then the rest of you, where are you headed? Where are the three of you headed?
Maggie's apparently driving in circles while these two have their debriefing.
As
So right now,
we're walking
you're all
to
in
the
cars. The sun has gone down. It is just past sundown. You're all in cars. Luca, you're in traffic getting back into the city. Maggie, Lisa, and Vincent, you just got in your vehicle after having gotten weird looks once again by the security guy. Just understand why people keep coming and going, and they never bring anything or leave with anything. It's all very confusing to him. And you guys get in your car. So, walk me through what's next, guys, because I have no fucking idea what the hell you guys are doing and what's happening. So just you guys tell me.
If possible, just fast forward to the new moon. I want to bring the panel to the mansion is my idea.
Okay. So that is going to be something like 5 days. I have to check my calendar, but it's about 5 days away, give or take. It is I can double check for you. For you, it is, well, for all of you, I should say. I don't know why I just said for you. The date is the same for everybody.
The moon is special for Luca.
Okay, so you would know from the almanac that the next new moon is August 28th, and you know that today is August 22nd. So it's Monday, August 22nd, and so it'll be, was that Sunday then?
Yeah. Yep.
Okay.
That's a Sunday.
All right. Okay. So let's go Maggie, Lisa, and New Dude. What is it the three of you would like to do?
I want to just go through all of the notes, questioning Lisa on details that just need clarification, just trying to get the gist of where the investigation's been. We don't have to go over that because I was actually here for the investigation.
What? You've been spying on us the whole time?
The whole time.
The whole time.
I've just been
That
hanging
you
out in these
were
Zoom
wrong?
calls. You didn't know those links were public.
What? I've actually done that a couple of times. I put the link in the wrong channel. Chuck usually catches it for me. So yeah.
Whoops.
And then
Okay.
from there, I think I would start questioning Maggie after like I get up to date on everything they've investigated. I would turn to Maggie. So Operation Blister, clearly linked to the sewers. Whatever it was moving in throughout the sewers, and yet I don't see anything here with investigating sewers.
Yes, because
That wasn't your
know,
first step.
over weekends, the city planning offices are not open. So that was not something that we would be able to do over weekends. Seeing as it is now Monday, today would be the first day that we could go. However, I've been chauffeuring you around today. So if you would like, if we have your permission that we can go to the city offices and look into the sewers, I'd be very happy to do that. Because I actually think that was one of the very first things that I said when we learned about this, is that sewers would probably be a thing to check out.
Good to know that you said that 4 days ago and nothing happened. Lisa, mark down one more excuse.
Should so we're gonna go do that now, and then that should give 2 more hours, and then we're gonna call Luca and find out where he's at, and he should be back.
It's
That-
I hate to
that
do
works.
this to you guys, but it's after dark.
Oh
You
fuck!
can't-
Oh,
the damn
Oh, that's-
offices are closed.
Why does the day go by so fast?
what's the matter? Let's go anyways.
That's absolutely true. That's absolutely true. You certainly could do that.
Maggie just lets out a big flipping sigh. We can fast forward till just Tuesday morning, right?
I'm fine with doing that. You guys got to tell me. I mean, I don't want to rob you guys of things that you want to do, but at the same time, we're really a little unmoored here and nothing's happening. So I do want to get some progression. So I'm not saying we have to do what Long says and just skip forward 6 days. Like that might be too extreme. But like the three of you, if there's something you're looking to do, if like you have an idea, if you have a plan, like, if you want, we can do a walkthrough of the evidence that you have and things that you're doing, review that kind of stuff. We can do that, but like you still need to.
No, Maggie
At
wants
some
to
point,
go
it's
to
your
the
call.
city office to look at the sewer stuff. So they
Yeah.
just would like it to be a daytime time
Okay.
where that can happen.
We can do that.
And which of us
I'm
is
of the
gonna
mind
start?
that we go immediately, but I like night ops.
Breaking and entering?
It's a city
Lisa
planning
shot
office.
a
I
dude
think we'll
in
be
Hypoloxo.
okay.
I just want to
Yeah.
point out, remember? Or stabbed a dude or something like that.
She
yeah.
stabbed a dude.
Breaking and entering.
She thinks she killed a man.
Maggie's request is that it be Tuesday morning and we go to the city office during the day and not make this more complicated.
Fine. Maggie, Lisa, tonight, read those books that you found. Lisa, that was good work going to the bookshop. I'm going to track down your teammate that's gone rogue.
Okay. So you're driving past, the door just opens up, he just falls out and disappears as he goes searching for Luca. Okay.
Before he goes, though, Lisa,
Oh
when we
God,
were just
please no.
okay, sorry, go. Anyways,
no, go ahead.
just
What do you
keep
got?
going.
What do you got? What do you got?
She doesn't know what he knows exactly, so she would have just asked him if he recognizes the symbols that we found.
No.
Because she's got
No, he does
No.
not.
I give her one of those blank stares.
no idea about this dude. So, anyways, okay, yeah.
Okay. So you guys go and find wherever it is that you're staying. That's fine. Luca, you eventually make it back to your apartment. And everybody, I assume, with the exception of New Dude, is doing something. is going to sleep or resting or whatever. Lisa, you head back to Ronkonkoma. Maggie, you head back to your hotel room. Luca, you're at your apartment. And then New Dude, do you actually try to hunt down Luca?
Yeah.
Okay.
I'd like to try and get that panel back.
Okay. How would you want to go about doing that?
I wouldn't know hardly anything about them, so I would have asked Maggie and Lisa if they knew anything about him, if they knew that he had a family pizza shop or anything like that. Just tracking down any lead I can.
Okay. Luca, how much of your family life have you shared with Maggie and Lisa? Would they know anything about
the
them?
shirt I wore?
Yeah, he was wearing
Okay.
the family pizzeria shirt.
Okay.
First night.
So then Maggie and Lisa, how willing would you be to share that kind of information with New Dude?
Let's just say, for the sake of him being able to do it, that we share the information.
Okay. So you do, in fact, then know about a family pizzeria in Newark, New Jersey.
And it's closing soon, or closed, right?
By the time you get there, it'll probably be closed.
All right. I'm gonna start heading to New Jersey.
Okay. So you head to New Jersey. Are you going to the restaurant?
That area. Probably not straight to the restaurant unless I absolutely need to, because I doubt he's going to be there.
I don't think there's anything that would prevent you from getting to Newark. So we'll say you get to Newark, New Jersey. No problem. What's next?
Well, once I get to the area, I'm just going to call Luca.
Okay. Luca, a phone rings. This time it has no, it's just one of those like unknown caller types of things. Is Luca the type of person to answer your phone?
I'll be asleep by now.
Okay.
Maybe I'll miss
Luca, you're asleep right now. You missed the call. No problem.
All right. If that's the case, then I am going to the family pizzeria, and I assume I'm taking like a cab or public transportation or something like that. So while in the back, I want to just Google it to see like if I can see like the owners, see like family name, that kind of stuff.
Absolutely. All that stuff very easily pops up. It's a Dante family.
Yeah. And then
Antonio and what's your mom's name?
What's an Italian mother's name?
Antonia.
Maria.
All right, we can do that.
Okay. Tony and Maria Dante, proud owners, longtime owners of Nona's Pizza. I don't know who Nona is, but they own the
grandmother.
Okay, there you go.
All right. I'm going to blow up his spot and try to look up their information, give him a call.
Okay. I would say, okay, if you're looking for like their personal phones and stuff like that.
Home line, yeah, anything.
All right. Roll luck test. I thought you were going to blow up the restaurant. That'd be fun.
Sorry, trying to read that. It's a 3, not a 5, so 31.
Okay, these are in fact people who are listed. They still have a house phone. The luck test. So
I give them a call.
Phone rings. It's late, and it's possible that the father's maybe still closing up over at the restaurant and stuff. But like, there's no one there. It could be just doing prep for the morning, or whatever. But you hear a woman's voice. Hello.
Hi, ma'am. Sorry to bother you. This is Arnie Price. I'm a good friend, Luca. I can't seem to get a hold of him though, and he was supposed to meet me. I was just a little worried. I wanted to call and see if he's doing okay.
Oh,
would you happen to know where he is?
Too. Tony said that he was going to be coming over tonight, and he never did. Oh no! You don't think something happened to him, did you?
I doubt that. I'm actually in the car right now. I can go check on him. Do you have his address or something? I'll go take a look, just to be safe.
He's not here. He's in the city.
Oh, he's in the city, of course.
Yeah.
He didn't tell me that he was moving. He told me that he was going to be at the pizza place.
Oh, well, he was, I guess, but then he left.
All right. I live in the city. I'm going back there anyways. You mind giving me his address? I'll check on him.
Roll. Give me a test.
Persuade. I'm gonna take a boost here.
Give me a persuade.
60 on the dot. I needed a 60 on the dot.
Okay. She's like, oh, sure. Any friend of Luca's. What's your name again? Archie?
Arnie Price.
Arnie Price. Okay. I don't think I've ever heard him. Okay. Do you work at him at the DEA?
Yeah.
Oh, that's great. He never tells us what he does. Anyhow, and then she kind of gives you his address.
I go back into the city, and I thought for some reason he said he lived in Jersey. That's why I headed out that way.
No, his family's in Jersey. Him and his brother, I think, have an apartment in the city, right?
Yeah. Somewhere like that.
So I start heading to the apartment.
Close. Yeah, okay. And you drive on over. You head over to the apartment. You roll a luck test, Luca, see if your brother's here.
21.
Okay. So I'll say that. So whatever situation you would want, Luca, is what's here. He's either here or he's not here. You tell me. What would you prefer?
Let's put him here.
Okay. He has just gotten home. He's taken a shower. He's still kind of getting the stench of the stench. That's not a good way to put it. You have a very nice restaurant. But of the restaurant off, you're like you said, you're sleeping. That's totally fine. And then yeah, we'll just leave it at that. So then you arrive there, Arnie, you make it the address, you see the apartment building, etc. What do you want to do?
I go up and I knock on the front door.
You knock on the front door. Little time passes, and then after a moment, door opens up and does the chain thing. You see a man. He's got a towel around his waist. He's kind of covered in liquid here and there. Water. I don't know why I said liquid. That was a weird word choice. He clearly just got, he's clearly on a shower. He's like, yeah. What's up?
Luca?
No. He's sleeping.
Oh, I was supposed to meet him. Could I talk to him?
Listen, man. Between you and me, he's not been doing too well lately. He's hadn't really. It's the first time I've seen him sleep in a while. So, if
your mother Maria, I just talked to her. She asked me to check on him. Apparently, he was supposed to meet her for dinner tonight, and he wasn't there.
All right. I mean, are you do you work with them or something?
Yeah.
What's your name again?
Arnie Price.
Arnie Price. Yeah. Luca, would your brother
just go ahead and wake him up?
Luca, would your brother have met anyone you've worked with in the DEA, even if it's just casually?
Yeah.
Okay.
There's no name of an Arnie Price.
Yeah, got ID? I don't recognize the name. Sorry, man. It's It's
fine. You can ask him. He'll tell you he knows me.
Yeah. Do you have ID?
Of course.
Can I see that ID?
No.
Okay. Well, I guess you can't talk to my brother then. Have a good night. And he closes the door.
I go to put my foot in.
Okay. You do. You put your foot in. That's fine. Listen, guys, you don't want this right now. I've had a long fucking day. Take your foot out of my door right now.
You're right. I don't want this. Just wake him up and ask.
Get your foot out of my door right now. 3, 2.
We're going to get into this. I'm going to punch him.
Through the door? Okay.
Or just shove the door hard, something like that.
Yeah. Okay. Let's make this. Let's make it an athletics test, I guess we could do, or even just a pure
unarmed
strength.
Athletics. It's the same for me.
Okay. And I'm going to say because it's through a door, we'll go -20.
Minus 20. Fair enough.
Yeah. Okay.
I would take boost, but let's make this fair.
Okay. Oh boy.
I'm trying to decide if it's like use of the door or around the door.
We'll see what the
How
roll
is
says.
this happening?
The roll was a 37.
Okay. So he's like, he goes, so he's trying to, so he's reaching his hand through to kind of like push you away. And he doesn't expect it as this man you just lower your shoulder right into the door itself. The door rips off the chain flips and it smashes right into him. And he goes, oh, fuck. Oh. He goes stumbling back. He's still in a towel. He's kind of sprawling around on the ground, blood coming down from his head. Luca, fuck, man. And I'll say, Luca, your alertness is high enough. You are awake as you hear commotion going on in your living room right now. What do you do?
I rush out of bed.
Okay.
Marco.
You rush out of bed. You see Marco on the ground. This fucking guy, he broke his, shoot him, man, shoot him. And he points up, and standing in the doorway is a man in his 50s, silver foxy, dressed like he's on Miami Vice.
Who are you? Known as Pater Debts. Get out of here.
Grab the panel. We gotta go. Nap time's over.
Ah, shit. I'll punch him in the face real quick for Marco.
Okay. Roll an unarmed. Yeah. We're gonna kill Steven's character.
A 3.
Oh.
I think it's like I can't remember what unarmed
Is it dodge too?
D.
I don't think I can beat a 3.
Go ahead and roll dodge.
It is blackjack rules. 3 is a really low score.
Yeah, 3 you can be beaten because that's a good point. It is blackjack rules.
Well, my dodge is 60 and I rolled a 42 then. So if it's blackjack then.
Luca, you come up, you swing, whatever the fuck your name is, you manage to kind of push it off to the side, and he's a little bit slow. He just woke up, he's a little groggy. You can tell he's got these dark rings under his eyes, and you manage to dodge out of the way of it and kind of push him against the wall. It's at this point though that Marco gets up and he's gonna leap on your back. Arnie, god damn it, you have like 100 names. Okay.
I've got 2 names. I've got my name and my agent name.
Of course I crit. 22.
Oh, awesome.
Of course I do.
Awesome.
Of course he crits. So Luca, your brother hops on the back of Vincent and just starts kind of like this, like wailing on the side of your head. Like it's not pretty fighting. He just jumps on you. The towel falls and he just start whacking right in the side of your head. Vincent, you're going to, I want to say it's like a D3 or D3 minus 1, something like that, or it could just be 1. And I think about it. Let me double check, see if I put it in here. It is a D4 minus 1. That's what I wrote. So let's hope that's right. Okay. Go ahead, take 2 points of damage. As I roll a 3 minus 1, so 2 points of damage, Vincent, as you have a grown man on your back who is now naked, covered in and water from the shower, and he's
Eastern Promises. Anyone?
It is definitely Eastern Promises. Okay, so now all 3 of you have gone in a round. So let's proceed in terms of decks. What's your decks, Luca?
My dex is 14.
14. What's your dex, Steven?
16.
Okay. I'm gonna say your brother's got the same dex as you. Boom, done. Okay, so Arnie, what do you do?
I'm trying to disengage, trying to get this guy off my back.
All right. So you want to just sort of push him off? You just want to shove him away?
Yeah, flip him over my shoulder.
Unarmed attack.
23 under 60.
All right. I'm going to roll for him. Oh, God. I just rolled 100. Jesus.
Oh, no.
I'm not trying to kill him, Jeff.
Well,
Wait, no. In deltagreen, 0 is low, right?
No, you're thinking of
Mothership.
Shit.
Sorry.
That was last Saturday.
But yeah, I got some lollies popping up. You flip them. You flip them over. Roll a d4 -1, and then we'll say multiply that by 2. So we're gonna double that score, and that's how much damage you do.
So 1 - 1 times 2.
Okay, well, so we'll say you say you do 1 damage to him. We're gonna say he's gonna do at least 1. As you flip him over, he smashes to the ground. His head cracks on the ground, and he is knocked out. That's the crit. He's unconscious.
Are we done?
What
Look,
the
it's your
fuck,
turn.
man? That's my brother.
He asked for it.
If I didn't work with you, you'd have a bolt in your head right now.
You have no
Get the
idea who this
panel.
guy is, by the way.
We
You've
need
never
to
seen
go.
it before.
He's mentioned the panel. It's all title.
Okay. All right. What do you do then, Luca?
Put this man in bed.
Okay. You're putting your brother in bed, I'm assuming?
Yeah.
Lift your brother up. You carry him in. You drop your... Once again, you keep seeing your brother naked a lot in this game. You guys notice that?
He's a very
That is
attractive
true.
man. There's nothing wrong
That
with
is
how
true.
it keeps happening. You flop him down in your bed, in his bed, excuse me. And you leave him. He's breathing. He's fine. He just banged his head pretty bad. It's probably a concussion. He's unconscious. I'm sure it's nothing terrible. Okay.
You come out to seeing me helping myself through your fridge, trying to find something cold to like put on the bruises.
Sure.
Let's get out of here.
Panel.
Okay.
In the car.
After you. I start cracking open the beer that I had on my forehead.
Okay. You guys go down. You get in the car. At this point, Lisa, you're almost home. Maggie, you're back at your hotel. Were you two doing anything this evening before I go back to these nincompoops? Okay.
No.
All right. So if that's the case, what are you two dumbasses now doing?
I'm sorry about your brother. Why'd you take the
Yeah,
panel?
fuck you. What do you want?
Panel's got to go back to the storage unit.
All right, we'll put it back then.
Put it back.
I'll put it back.
He once more drive back to the
Storage unit.
fucking storage
Without laughing.
unit. It's the same guy who has the worst employment schedule ever, who looks up at you two, really confused.
Fresh bruises. Broken
Just
glasses.
fresh bruises all over the place. It's the middle of the night. It's like midnight, 1 o'clock in the morning. You put the damn thing back inside. You hear the bzzz as the teakwood box vibrates one more. Anyone touching it?
No.
Okay. Steven?
Soft pass.
Okay. And is back in place. Now what do you guys do?
Why'd you even take it?
Can't tell you.
Can't tell me? Didn't have anything to do with solving the case.
Potential lead.
What was that?
There's a potential lead, but no real details.
What was the lead? We're not working with much right now. You gotta share your information.
Thinking back to when the voices were speaking to me, they said not to mention this to the others. How much was that like?
Yeah, they said something. I can't remember the exact words, so I might be paraphrasing, but something to the effect of don't tell the others they would do us harm or something like that.
Let's try. So I'll be as vague as possible about it.
Okay. So
Vague as possible about like hearing voices and
I
saying
don't
that
know what that means.
you can't tell anyone.
That's true. I'll mention the voices, just not what the plan is.
You're fucking hearing voices?
Yeah, don't you? We all hear voices.
And these voices told you to take the panel.
Yeah.
Let's get to Maggie. Start heading back to Maggie's hotel.
Do you know Maggie's hotel?
You said that we were all three together when we talked about splitting up. So I assumed that, but maybe not. Maybe we all stopped somewhere and then
Listen,
went
for the
different
love
ways.
of God, can we just say he knows where Maggie's staying, Melissa, or is that a no?
Yeah, that's fine.
Say
You have to go through a pizzeria first.
Okay, first you got to fly down to Texas. You got to go to her family's restaurant.
Right.
It's a barbecue place. Tex-Mex. Okay. All right. Maggie, you get a knock on your door and you look through the people and you can see there is a somewhat bruised Vincent and there's Luca as well, standing in the hallway outside your hotel room.
Seeing new dude with some bruises on his face,
Okay.
Maggie smirks a little bit before opening the door. This is yep. As I said in chat, many punchable words have come out of that mouth early in the day. So there's yeah, that looks good. And so then she sort of wipes the smirk off of her face and then opens the door. Run in.
I imagine she had this internal monologue out loud externally as she's opening the door.
All right. So the three of you are in Maggie's hotel room, little bruised. What are we doing?
Please tell me you put the stupid thing back in the stupid thing.
Tell
That's
her
what
why
he
you
brought
took
you
it.
before. The voices wanted it.
The
I'm
voices
sorry?
wanted it.
Oh, you know that mansion? The voices?
I don't hear voices when I go to the mansion. You hear voices when you go to the mansion?
Yeah, that one time.
Okay.
Just the one time?
And
Just the one time out of the two.
and the voices. Okay, so there was a thing there, and the voices said that they wanted it. So you were bringing it to them?
If that's what you conclude.
Okay, but it's back. It's not. You're not going to bring it to them, right?
No, I'm not going to bring it to them.
Okay.
Maggie,
So then,
I owe you an apology. You said you were working with new people, and I thought you were working with new people. I didn't realize you were working with this.
it's been interesting. So everything is back where it's supposed to be, right?
Luca, did you take anything else from the storage unit?
Maggie would know, I think. Yeah.
Oh,
But Maggie-
Maggie's. I don't
We were
think
there the
Maggie's-
night with the AKs and the money.
You didn't take the cash the first time. You took it the second
No.
time.
Yeah.
Oh,
And Maggie
yeah,
was there
yeah.
the second time.
Maggie was there. Yeah, that's true. We've just
And-
been to the damn place so many times.
so many
It's
times.
easy to lose track.
We'll say that Maggie doesn't know about the money.
Then no.
So tomorrow we're gonna go try to look into the sewer stuff.
Sewers, there was something in the notes about tunnels collapsing. Seems like that's a good place to decide. Transdimensional magic, whatever the fuck that means. Panel safe for now. That's what matters.
Yeah, because if new things are crawling out of that thing at night, that's the place for it to be, not out in the middle of anywhere. Something that we might want to think about is, Dante, you were calling some of the people if anything stops happening now that the panel is out. Because they had plenty of stories of weird things happening. I wonder if anything would stop happening now that it's gone.
I can always call them again later, a week down the road, see if they hear anything.
Maggie,
So
we're
am I allowed to
crashing
go back
here
to bed?
tonight. Luca, you can take the couch. I'll take the chair.
Fantastic. That's great.
And I'm going to pull the chair right next to the door.
Okay. Done. No problem.
Maggie, you can call me Vin. And then I put the broken sunglasses back down and just lie back in the chair.
And Maggie will text Lisa and just say, everything is where it's supposed to be now. Everyone's here. See you in the morning.
Hey, where's Declan? He's supposed to bring me my sleeping pills.
So and Maggie will kind of go into a bit of a so this is the thing. We're supposed to try to keep bad things from happening. And when we don't do that, there are consequences. So if things are supposed to be kept a certain place and people take those things out of that place where things are supposed to be and get curious and try to figure stuff out on their own and keep things where they're not locked up and safe, or for their own personal gain, for their own personal benefit, to line their own pockets or pique their own curiosity.
Oh, you're saying he's out?
I worry. Maybe not, but I worry.
All right, then.
Good night.
And with
Maggie
that,
very aggressively rolls to the other side and looks away from them.
and with that, the day mercifully comes to an end. Morning comes.
Wait, one more thing before we go.
I was very tempted to just roll a luck test to see if one of you accidentally stumbled into the teakwood box, and I could just, end things. Start a new cell with Lisa. That's basically it. Okay, so you guys,
she's got strengths.
You guys will say, we'll kind of montage through some stuff. We'll assume you all come together. We'll assume you all head into town. You'll assume, Lisa, that you come up with a suitable excuse to give your Aunt Viv that is both semi-believable, but also something she can very easily judge and look through. And the four of you will eventually come together, we'll say, at Maggie's. And you make plans. I think one of the plans was to go try to get some sort of semblance of sewer system layout in the neighborhood of Red Hook. Sure. And I'll say, just to move things along a bit, it's a lot of this information that you're looking to get is perfectly fine. Like you can access it. A lot of this stuff is public information. And so I'll say, between a combination of you flashing some badges, by the way, Luca, you have a message in the morning from your contact who doesn't understand where the fuck you were last night because he had your IDs for you and you never showed. Perfect. But the rest of you do manage to get a hold of some of these, some basic blueprints and things like that. So if you're just looking for general sewer network stuff, that's easy enough to find, easy enough to access. If there's something more specific than that, then let me know. But otherwise, we'll say you have a vague understanding of the network of sewer systems within the Red Hook neighborhood of Brooklyn. Was there more that you wanted to get from that?
Yeah, so Maggie would see if she can connect sort of the information that had been kind of rumored about kind of from the like Park Place area, that there were some like hidden tunnels that had kind of gotten discovered in like the 60s. Like, did those still kind of connect somewhere? Does that kind of show up somehow? So trying to kind of use the information that we got from the inkwell.
Okay. You can go ahead if you would like in roll. We'll call it a. What do I want to call this? History, maybe. Let's do a history test.
Ooh, I've got 60 in history.
I'll also take a bureaucracy if you wanted to play it up as like asking somebody as opposed to just looking and doing the work yourself.
Yeah, I am less good at bureaucracy. So I think I'll go with history.
Sure.
Take a boost to get to 70 and see. I've been rolling 90s. That is a 6.
Okay. What you can tell is, first of all, no one really talks about that. That was like the collapse happened in the 20s. So the tunnel collapses happened in the 20s, shortly after Robert Sidham's death, when they went to investigate some things. This was sort of posthumously. This wasn't the 60s. The 60s was when the evidence that they had collected and that had been staying in some of the storage lockers and things like that, that's when it kind of came up for auction, basically. But you do find that over the years, over the decades, almost 100 years since then, there have been some changes, but there's a lot of the same tunnels that are still in place, renovations, things like that here and there, new tunnels, improvements, so and so. They did, of course, rebuild a lot of that because there was a whole block or two in that area of Park Place that was rebuilt. So it had to, otherwise there's particular sewer lines that wouldn't make it in sort of the right direction. So a lot of that's been rebuilt, but it was rebuilt like 70, 80 years ago.
Okay. Is it anything where, and so I think specifically, I forgot what I was trying to connect was like, does the map of the sewer system link the 3 houses? Like those 3, like the apartment building and the house and like all of that? Like, does it seem like there's a...
When you say the 3 houses, what do you mean the 3 houses? You say
where
the Garrettson
the
mansion?
kids disappeared from.
Yeah. So you're talking about sewer lines in a major city like New York. There are very clear sewer entrances near every one of those buildings, but there's also they're everywhere. Like there's sewer lines everywhere. So, but yeah, I mean, like there's certainly lines that would reach them. So you have that. Now what? We'll say that takes most of the first half of the day. You guys flashing badges and waiting in line, speaking with folks, requisitioning things, doing civilian research here and there, digging through some old files. This is probably taking up most of the day. What do you do with that information?
How closely do those sewers, or at least like access tunnels, run to the mansion? Because I remember you said there wasn't access nearby the mansion.
So from what you can tell, within about let me double check. Yeah, there are surrounding the block on which the old mansion is at. It's now condominiums, but you do see within a block or two, like there's sewer access. Yeah. There's no sewer access. Like there was no like sewer manhole immediately like outside of the mansion that you can just kind of go down. Obviously it's going to connect to the sewers at some point. It's got plumbing, but there weren't any like directly in front or on the grounds, but you can tell that within a block or two, there's definitely access.
I think I would make note of that and start planning a little trip down to find some alligators.
Yeah, I mean, I think that if that is where we are suspecting that this creature is traveling so as not to be seen, it would make sense that doing some subterranean research ourselves would be useful.
Okay. So then you have that information. You kind of know a little bit about the sewers. You could probably navigate through them to a certain degree with some kind of confidence. Obviously, none of the sewer lines are traversable, and some of them are just pipes, but you can see the traversable areas that you could actually go down there, that construction crews can go down, etc. So you guys just tell me, like, what do you want to do with this information now? It's Tuesday, it's afternoon, you have this info. What's the plan?
Let's see what we can kind of connect to. Like I have this, it's, kind of like what you see in the movies where you kind of find some like, subway tunnel that you can kind of find an off door to that kind of connects over. So somewhere that we can kind of like access and see what we can find. It's kind of in this area. It looks cool in my head.
Okay, so you want to go into the subway, or do you want to go into the sewers?
I'm getting to the sewers, but yeah.
Okay.
Yeah. Like in movies, there's so much cool things you can do underneath New York City.
Luca, I'm gonna check in Luca and Lisa. What is it you guys have been up to? Is there anything you guys wanted to do?
If Maggie's cool with it, maybe Lisa's started reading that book. Like that's what she's been starting investing some time into.
Okay. I mentioned this before. Books
it's
are
gonna
not
take a while.
Yeah, it's one of those things where it's like you're not, and then since we're counting literally days in the scenario, and this thing's going to take you months to study, it's something that's not going to result in like you getting actionable intelligence necessarily. So the way books kind of work in like books of this sort in like Call of Cthulhu type games, including Deltagreen, is that there's a study time. And so some of them are days, some of them are months, some of them, and a lot of that has to do with the fact that they might be in different languages, they need to be researched, cross-referenced, etc. They're academic, they're arcane, they're old, and some of it takes and it's not just reading it. You have to read it and study it and learn it and kind of ingest it and all that kind of stuff. So it's not just you flip it open and you just kind of read down a Wikipedia page or something like that.
Okay, yeah. Then no, that's not what Lisa's doing. Luca,
it's more of a thing that I would say is probably for like that in between scenario stuff.
Scenarios,
yeah. As opposed to a book like this. Like if it's a small pamphlet, that's totally different. But like getting like old occult books and tomes in different languages, and that's what those things are.
I'll just be rescheduling the pickup, and then I'll follow whatever lead they find.
Okay. So we'll say you managed to go sneak away at a certain point while they're downtown doing civic research into sewers, and did you say you wanted to get your IDs? Did I hear you right? Okay. Yeah. And so we'll say you retrieve them, and you have a handful of fake FBI, I believe that's what it was, fake FBI badges. One of them, is for Declan, who is no longer here in the group, apparently.
This doesn't look anything like me.
You can pull it off.
I don't wear turtlenecks and I have hair. What is wrong with you? Okay, so you guys do manage to get all this together. You get your IDs, you get the details about the sewer. There are multiple access points that you can get into the sewer within a couple blocks of the building. It's just a question of what you guys tell me. I need to know what you're doing.
Grabbing flashlights, buying some boots, going delving.
Okay.
Probably the access point that looks like it's the least busy area, maybe like in an alley or something like that would be preferable. Obviously not on a main street.
All right. So are you guys taking any steps to sort of make this look presentable? Like, are you like setting up cones and stuff and like wearing like things that make it look like you're actual city workers, or are you just kind of trying to sneak in with no one looking?
I think I would just try to to sneak in, but the cones.
Yes, the cones route.
Okay. So
Yes.
we'll say that you track down a lot of those types of cones. Those are purchasable, no problem. You can even get reflective vests and these traffic cones and stuff. You can buy those from various places. So we'll say you spend some time going around collecting some materials. All of this is stuff that we can just montage through. None of it is a particularly difficult expense. Like all of that kind of stuff is pretty straightforward expense. And so you set up these cones, these very pristine cones because they're brand new. You've got your reflective
Pick them a couple times.
We'll say by the time you get to a place near enough, it's late afternoon. People are probably just getting off work. And you're just trying to make a good look of it, a good presentation of it. Let me just do a roll or two.
All right. I'm looking to see what skills we might have to.
Okay.
Yeah.
All right. We'll say about 2 blocks from the mansion, you find a particularly easy access that is not in the middle of the street. We'll say it's like alleyway access. So it's the type of thing where you're not going to be so obvious to just stop traffic, and you have the chance of maybe not having anyone see you. There are people lingering in the neighborhood. People do walk by. You see people pushing, grocery carts and things like that kind of live in the area. You see some of the homeless folk and such, some that you might even recognize from the dumpster lot out back behind the Garrettson mansion. And you guys descend into the sewers. You have your flashlights. You've got all whatever gear that you want. Are people carrying? Are you carrying anything of note, or is there any kind of equipment that you would have wanted to collect other than flashlights?
I would say basic things like maybe a crowbar or yeah.
Really, I was just thinking if there's anything out of the ordinary, like basic ordinary tools and stuff, no issues. If there's anything out of the ordinary that you couldn't pick up at a hardware store or something like that, just call it out now. Otherwise, we're fine.
Sure.
Okay. So you descend down to the sewer. It is nasty. You're in a New York sewer. There are no Ninja Turtles. There is a significant amount of, there's a permeating stench that has wafted into your nose here and there. Some of you might even cover up your masks. You've got a general idea. Maybe you have a printout. Maybe you have something on your phones of the network of sewer tunnels in the neighborhood around this mansion. And what are we doing? What's the goal here? What are we trying to accomplish?
Specifically trying to get as close as possible to the mansion, right?
Okay. Yeah.
Sorry, Melissa, what were you going to say?
Sorry, I was muted. Maggie would be trying to see if we can kind of connect from here to like where the kids might have been, and then also looking for any evidence of like anything kind of being
one page here, one page there. We need to get on the same page here. Are we splitting the party then? Are half you trying to walk across Brooklyn but under the sewers, and some of you are just going over to the mansion?
Yeah, I think
we'll go to the mansion first.
Yeah,
we'll go to the mansion first.
I'll go to the mansion.
Okay.
You know what? No, I think Maggie's onto something. I'm going to go across Brooklyn.
Hey, look, we've been playing for 2 hours. We don't need to do a fancy cliffhanger. We can just end it right there. Okay.
I love you, Jeff. I'm sorry.
We're going to the mansion all together.
Yep. Please forgive us.
Big, happy,
nope.
deltagreen group.
Okay. So you're traveling around. Luca, as you guys are wandering about, you're following the lights, you're traversing around, your feet are wet, you're like everything's just coursing, you're getting dripped on from time to time. Luca, you hear a voice in your head, and it says, "No! Turn away! Take them away! They mean us harm!"
This sounds terrible, but guys, we're going the wrong way.
No, that's where the mansion is. The mansion is, in fact, that way.
They don't like that we're here.
Oh, wait, I'm sorry. Who doesn't like that we're here?
Them.
So then we should definitely go that way. So, okay. So what is talking to you is probably the thing that we need to stop.
If you think so, but
things aren't supposed to talk to you. That's not how things are supposed to go. And she's actually Maggie's actually sort of looking over to Vincent. Like,
I'm staring at Luca, but I'm not saying anything. Is Luca wearing his gun?
yes, standard.
we're going to go to the mansion and we're going to figure out what is going on. I'm glad you told us that the voices said that they don't want us to go there, because it means that we are definitely on the right track.
That's fine. Don't say I didn't warn you.
Oh, I appreciate you telling us about the voices that you've heard before. And we are heading in the direction of the mansion.
Let's make it quick.
Okay. You guys move you track you're about two or three blocks away. Everybody go ahead and we'll say roll a search test. Anybody who wants to. If you feel like not, that's fine. But everybody go ahead and roll a search test.
Yeah, I'll give it a roll.
Yeah.
Oh,
60 under
failed?
74.
60 under 74. That's a pass. What else we got?
Success, 34 under 50.
Very nice.
Oh,
Maggie
I
and
also
Lisa.
passed. Wow, I got a 14.
Okay. Maggie?
Failed.
Okay. As you're moving and you are in the neighborhood, you're kind of like under the block. Maybe you're not under the specific lot or so, because it doesn't work like that. Just so you guys know, it's not quite how it works. But you are kind of getting into the position where you're kind of the closest that you can possibly get. You do start to notice that there's evidence of something possibly living down here. You see like obviously it is a sewer, and so to some degree it's nasty as can be, but you do notice that there are places of of feces and things in the corners and the darkness here and there, almost as if somebody is kind of keeping them in a particular area. Lisa, I would say you notice that there are a couple points here and there, especially near some ladders or on walls that seem to lead up towards smaller tunnels, like little catch basins and things like that. You see scratches that match what you've seen now at the site above on in the former mansion, and at the green box. Actually, did we say no? You weren't there. I'm sorry, that was Maggie. So you've seen those scratches, and you can see that those scratches, there's like a small tunnel above. Luca and Vin, I'll say you notice the same thing. Vin, you actually did notice some scratches at the site, so you can see as Lisa is staring at them that you kind of look over her shoulder. You can see it as well. And then Luca, there's a lot, despite the fact that you guys have flashlights and you're flying, there's tons of shadow. Luca, you see a creature like just moving about in the shadow down here. Could be a big rat or something. Could be a cat. Who knows? But you do hear like, you were warned. Enlightenment will not find you. She is angry. So, And Maggie, you don't find shit. So the rest of you, so what are you guys doing?
Seeing the scratches, I would pull out my gun as well and have it ready. I carry a Smith & Wesson 645. Same gun as Sonny Crockett for anyone interested out there.
You? No, we weren't interested. Okay. So Lisa, you see these scratches. It almost looks like it was like trying to climb up the wall or climb down the wall. Vincent, you take your gun out. Luca, you see and hear something. Maggie, you're just kind of looking down at the map, trying to kind of figure stuff out and haven't really noticed anything of interest.
Yep.
We've done it now. She's mad.
What is she saying to you?
There's no more enlightenment.
I'd like to casually walk over to Lisa and just kind of lean over and say, get his gun off him.
I work at FEMA.
You have strength. And I walk away.
Yeah. Not that. Just for clarity, my strength is only 30%, bro.
Not saying you gotta force it off him.
Oh, that's hilarious.
Just requisition it because you need to redistribute those goods to a yeah, I don't know, a city in peril from a hurricane or something. Okay.
All right, which way? If she's angry, it means we're going the right way.
Sort of shine in the direction.
You shine over in the direction, and you, let's say, Maggie, if you're looking in the direction at Luca, it's just sort of a T section of the sewer, and you just see the tail end of something just skitter out of sight. And then Lisa and Vincent, you saw the scratches on the wall, looking like it's climbing up to what looks like some sort of mini tunnel above.
Am I able to like easily like kind of climb and look into that little tunnel or?
Sure. Yeah. You start. You look up, and maybe Vincent maybe even gives you a loose whatever. You're just kind of reaching up, pushing up, and right as your head comes over the top, you see bursting out of the shadow of that tunnel is a almost human-like face that seems to be attached to a furry, large cat/monkey-like creature that just goes, ah! While that happens, Maggie, you feel a burning sensation begin to overtake your hands. You look down and you watch your flesh begin to roil and twist and turn and darken. Your phone drops to the ground. You hear it clatter and then plop into some sort of sewer water. Take 7 points of damage as your skin begins to wither away.
Oh my gosh.
What would you like to do?
Maggie's just going to start screaming. What? And she's going to kind of step back to the group, and she's looking at her hand and just trying to like hit at it and just see if she can try to get the sensation to stop somehow, like wrapping it with her clothes or whatever.
Luca, you're right next to her. You can see the skin is just withering, and it's not just one arm. You can see it on her neck and on her face, and it's just cascading around her as all of her flesh seems to be going discolored. Kind of this, Maggie, you feel a burning sensation, but outwardly, Luca, you can see it almost feels like it's starting to almost like decay or degrade right in front of your eyes. It's not it's not total. It's just in little patches here and there.
We need to get out of here.
Lisa, I need you to roll a sand test. And if you pass, you can also, we'll also possibly give you something else.
$16.
Okay. You managed to, with a start, go stumbling back. I was so surprised, but at the same time, no sand loss. You notice right as you were looking past, as your light was there shining through that small tunnel, and it's much smaller, like you couldn't fit in it. It's much like for Maggie and Declan, who were looking at, like when they went to the different places around, there was a catch basin. It's like that. It's that small. As you're shining your light, you see this very familiar series of images behind this creature, and you can see those engravings, those circles and engravings behind it through there. Okay, so Lisa, you fall, but you can get up. You have one thing you can do.
I think what would have happened was like a knee-jerk reaction as she's looking and this thing jumps in her face. I would have whacked it in the head with the flashlight that I had out. No? Okay.
I already knocked back. The shock of that is so much that you're flying off of it. If you want to climb back up and attack it, that's fine.
No. I think at that point Lisa is just like, yeah, we need to go.
What do you see?
The markings are there. It's connected. There's a little tunnel. It's like the small tunnels that we found.
We got to get rid of the markings.
Maggie, your skin continues to wither away. Like you're starting to actually see the skin dissipate and the tissues underneath. You are in excruciating pain.
I don't Maggie's so torn on what to do. Can she try moving backwards and just trying to see, because she doesn't know what started causing this, right?
Not that you're aware of. You just saw something in the distance when Lucas shined his flashlight and he said, over there, you saw the tail end of something dissipate down a T section of this sewer.
So Maggie is gonna, we just got down here, so Maggie's not wanting to immediately
you just took
leave.
7 points of damage. You have less. That's more than half your HP. Your skin is literally withering away.
Okay. Running. She's running then.
Okay. You don't have to run. I'm just saying, there's a point where it's okay. Luca, what are you up to?
I'm going to get Maggie out of here. Looks like she's hurting.
All right. So you just kind of put an arm and you just start running back the way you came towards the exit. Is that what you're doing?
Yeah, that's fine.
Okay, so the two of you start running down the tunnel. Vin, what are you doing? You just see Lisa flop down. And
she's shoot it.
Okay, and so you see up there in the darkness, a face sort of emerges. It looks almost humanoid, Vin. Vin, roll sand test as you look up.
Stan was much stronger with my previous character.
I saw that.
We need to compare intelligence too.
Norse Foundry is really helping me out tonight. I rolled an 8 under 40.
Awesome. So you're good so far. You're hey, you've been in deltagreen for a while. You're a damaged vet. You've seen some shit. A monkey-looking man sticking his face out of the shadow. You've seen worse. What does Vincent do?
I still don't want to see it, though, even if I have seen worse. So I'm going to do my best to make sure nothing ever sees it again, and I just start blasting.
Okay. Go right ahead. Take a shot. It is in a very tiny little tunnel-y thing, so we'll go -10 on your attack as you try to fire a gun up at this little basin area.
I'm going to do this in Foundry just to make sure I get it right. I just added the gun. It's a medium pistol. Oh, shit. Should have stuck with Norse Foundry.
You should have stuck with physical dice. What are you doing?
That's a 96 over 80.
You start firing up and you miss. And the face kind of retreats back into the darkness. Lisa, what are you doing? We never actually gave you an action. So what are you doing? You fell down. You saw the thing. Shots just fired. What do you want to do? You see Maggie and Luca are running away.
She's going to immediately start looking around to make sure there's no more of these things, because because Vince is shooting at this one. So she's going to kind of like put her back to Vince and make sure there's nothing else approaching us.
Alertus.
Oh,
Go with that.
Oh, that's a failure. 27.
Aside
were
from
so
hearing,
close.
aside from hearing something about wherever Luca or Maggie were looking at, that was the only thing you saw.
What the fuck's happening with Maggie?
Their skin's falling off.
As they tear off in the direction away towards the exit.
And she's just kind of screaming like, it hurts.
Now what? So we're gonna go like we're basically in a sort of semi-structured. One person does a thing at a time. Maggie, Luca, you're running away. Vin, Lisa, you stayed and you fired. Luca and Maggie, if you keep running, you make it back. What's that? Yeah, you make it back, and you can see the ladder going up. Like you're just running and running and running without an issue. Then we'll come back to Lisa and Vin. I would also say Luca, and to be fair, you hear an extremely loud echo of a gunshot behind you. So you do know that shots have been fired. So as you're helping Maggie run, so if that changes what you're doing, Maggie, your skin just continues to rip and wither. What do you do?
Are we still inside the sewers?
Yeah, you guys can, if you wanted to, you can climb up.
Yeah, I'm gonna try to get her out of here.
Okay, so the two of you climb up. That's not a problem. We'll come back to Vin and Lisa. You are still in the middle of the sewer. You fired up at the small little tunnel there. Didn't hit. Face retreated back into the darkness. What do you guys do?
I would pause a moment and see if it pops back out again. I don't want to go running in case it's like waiting. And if it doesn't, then I would slowly begin to climb up, with my gun pointed as well as I can while climbing.
Sure.
I'm not trying to rush into things is what I'm saying.
Okay. You take a couple beats.
Lisa would boost him.
Okay, so you get underneath, you start climbing. And you very carefully peek up. And you see an empty pipe. It is maybe about 6-7 feet deep, connects to what looks like a catch basin, and you can see in this kind of it's very small quarters. It's not something a human could get into, but you can see as you're flashing the light, concentric sort of circles engraved into something. Looks not unlike what you put into the green box.
And I can see like the end of this pipe too, like it's a dead end.
Yeah, you would suspect that it probably goes up, so it's like a right angle here, and then goes up, and this probably kind of pours out into the where you're at.
It's an exit point somehow. It was able to go up, run after them, tell them to look for it.
Okay. I mean, I presume it's in the mansion. Here, there were markings up there, and Lisa's gonna hand him her camera. We need pictures, proof.
I'll take her camera, and I'm still keeping the gun trained, but I'll try to, as best I can after a few moments. Basically, I want to just watch to see that it doesn't double back or anything. If we got two other people headed up, they'll be able to get there faster than I can.
She gives you over the camera. She says that, and you would know as a vet, you in fact don't need proof and don't need pictures. And in fact, it might even be better not to have those types of things. But you have it. You're waiting for them to double back.
That's the case. I take the camera and I pull the roll of film out of it.
It's a digital camera.
You pull the digital. Okay.
SD card.
Lisa, you go chasing after Maggie and Luca, who again they're not that far away. You guys did not travel that far. You were like 2-3 blocks away from the actual mansion site, and you kind of shifted through here and there. And then you run after them. Then you hang behind. Okay. Okay. roll. Just double checking something really fast. Okay.
Echoed screams from the other end as Maggie's running away in pain.
Vincent, you hear the quiet sounds of chanting from somewhere. You can't even really understand if it's a language, but you can tell the cadence of it somewhere near you.
It sounds like it's coming from the sewers or from that pipe that it just ran through.
Somewhere in the area around you.
Oh, shit. I'm going to go searching for it.
Okay. Let's see. Roll. We'll do alertness.
That's where I said I learned the system. I have a 90 in alertness now.
Oh, wow.
Those are very useful skills. But occasionally there are a couple skills sometimes that you really, really need. And you don't have all of them.
What did you roll?
23.
23.
Okay.
Under 90.
Okay.
You can kind of triangulate. You hear the chanting kind of coming from sort of down towards that T section where Luca had shined his light not too long ago. And it's kind of echoing from there.
Start heading towards it.
Okay. You head towards it. You peek around. And you see kind of huddled there is a creature that looks identical, you think, to what the face kind of sticking out of the tunnel. And you can see like their hands are moving and they're and then kind of this cadence kind of going over this language you do not understand. You look up, they look up, they see you, and they almost look kind of surprised. And they start to do that. And then you hear from behind you, Vincent, this is a T section. You've come up, you've looked off to one side of the T. You hear from behind you. You look over your shoulder, and emerging from the shadows is another one of these creatures. What do you want to do, Vin?
Start shooting at the one emerging from the shadows.
Okay. Go ahead and make your shot.
This won't go wrong. I'm going back to Norse Foundry because they treat me nice. Is this at -10 again?
No, this is just in the shadows. This isn't like in the tiny tunnel.
84, so I still almost missed, but just passed. Needed a 90.
Yeah. Funny thing, though.
You bastard.
They are extremely, extremely spry. Very cat-like in their agility. And while most things can't really dodge bullets, you hold the gun up, they seem to have recognition of it, and you see them kind of dart off to the side. You do manage to still clip them, though. You can roll your damage.
Let me look this up.
You look it up with your fancy.
1d10.
Got the.
Just didn't know the die. Only 3.
Okay.
Oh.
Okay. Now I need you to roll a POW ×5. As you clip it, it's still fine, as it's still moving about, but you do hear as it kind of shouts out, finish the ritual. And
yeah, POW is my dump
×5.
stat.
That is the worst thing to be a dump stat.
Actually, though, I just barely made it. I got a 40 thanks to this lolly.
Regular success.
Regular success.
Okay. I'm once again very sorry to tell you, I actually rolled an 81 under 85, which is higher.
Wow.
So we will cut from that scene. And we will cut then to Lisa climbing up the ladder. And we will see Maggie and Luca up top on the surface. Maggie, the withering has started to stop a bit, but the pain is still quite there.
Is this not happening to either of you? Why is this just me?
And you should also roll a sand test, Maggie.
Gunshot before I climbed out?
No, it's all kind of happening at once. It probably hasn't happened quite just yet. There's probably a beat for Luca and Maggie to do something and for you to do something before the gunshot goes off.
Got it. Okay.
19 under 50 success.
Okay. Okay, so you're good on sand, but you can just see that that's going to leave a terrible mark. Okay.
Oh, yeah.
Luca, were you doing anything?
I heard gunshots, so
yeah, go,
Lisa.
Go.
Okay. So the two of you go running back in, and I want to read this, make this right.
Oh boy. Oh dear.
Okay.
Eek.
I'm
very nervous what's going to happen now.
Both of you, I need Luca and Lisa. Both of you roll. Let's see what we got. Roll Dex test. Dex times 5.
Cool, 91 over 70.
Oh, buddy.
20 success.
You race back down. You come back to that long tunnel with the T-section on one end, and on the other end there was the sort of trap basin area. And when you round the corner, we'll say like you guys are chasing after Vincent because the gun's going off. You round the corner, and you do, in fact, see Vincent. He's got the gun coming up to his head and coming around into his mouth. I'll give you one chance to do something, Lisa. Luca, you didn't get there in time. You slipped and fell on the sewer stuff.
Oh, gosh.
What do I don't have any weapons or anything. So I'm going to just try and tackle him and get the gun away.
Okay. Roll, we'll say unarmed combat. Yeah, just roll unarmed combat. We'll make it unopposed because he is busy doing something else. As he is.
My gosh.
Fuck, I fail. 73.
Okay. What I will say, though, is that even though you're unable to tackle him to the ground, you do slam into him. And in doing so, it does kind of move the gun, which he then pulls the trigger of, but it's not directly in his mouth. And instead, you just kind of blow your cheek off Vincent. Vincent, roll your damage for yourself.
You're not going to believe me, but it's a 1.
No, I believe you. It's fine. So you will, both of you make sand tests. Vin, as you might expect, take a point of sand loss at this, as all you knew for a moment was you heard, you basically felt another presence in your mind effectively telling you to do this. That presence seems to have gone. When you look up in the direction of where that one creature was that was chanting, and you look back to where the one that you shot, they aren't there anymore. Lisa's there. You do hear like skittering in the shadows as if they've kind of fled. But you know for a moment they tried to get you and succeeded in getting you to turn the gun on self. And if not for Lisa bumping into you, you would have blown your own head off.
Thank you, Lisa. Thank you.
Jesus Christ. We got to get you and Maggie to like, holy fuck. And like Lisa's just helping you up, and and she's gonna, if Vincent lets her shield, she's gonna take his gun and she's actually gonna do a sweep to just make sure that there's nothing else nearby.
Okay, well, I'm gonna bring Luke into this. So Luca, you come up, you hear the gunshot go off, you see Lisa knock Vincent to the ground. Luca, you have very high alertness, if I remember correct.
70.
Luca, you see a creature off to your left. So when you come in, you look off to the right and you can see that's like towards that T section I've been referring to. But you look to your left and that's towards where that like little tunnel catch basin is. You see one of those creatures. They're kind of like sort of, they almost look primate-like, but they have a very human face. But they also, you could see how they could be confused perhaps for a cat, but they move with such agility. You see it kind of climb up. You see it turn into your direction, doesn't hiss at you, and then just disappear into the catch basin. Is this your first time? I think this is your first time seeing them, Lucas. So roll a sand.
Yeah, I think that's right. Oh, 94. That's failed.
Okay. Take a point of sand loss then, but you do see it running up into that catch basin. What do you do? Lisa and Vince are rolling around on the ground, figuring stuff out. This is all happening. So you have a moment to do something.
I would not give her my gun. I would help her shine the light, but then I'd be saying we got to get out of here.
Okay. Before that, Luca, though, I'm not going to
chase after it.
Okay, you're not going to chase after it. Okay. All right. So then you keep your gun, and then you say, we got to get out of here. What are the three of you doing?
I just plan on getting him out of here.
Okay.
Going
Lisa,
back the way we came in.
he's not giving you his gun. What would Lisa want to do?
I think at this point, Lisa's just concerned about the injuries that everybody has. So she'll go with the group.
Okay. And so then we'll say the three of you with skittering sounds behind you, Lisa, as you lift Vincent up, get him kind of leaning on you a little bit. He's bleeding off the side, out of the side of his mouth. And the three of you,
it's ruined.
It is totally ruined. It is as red as the undershirt that you have. As the three of you go back to the ladder, climb back up to the surface, where Maggie in her withering skin has been waiting, and we'll go ahead and end there, I think.
Oh my gosh.
I feel like I have the HP I wanted to push it and keep going, but at the same time, if I was shot in the mouth and they can control my brain, and Maggie's up there, and Luca's compromised.
You're like, power's my dump stat. I'm like, oh, that's a shame.
I can't be good at everything.
Power is not their dump stat. Power is one of their best. Okay. Normally in 81, you're like, oh, that's a shame. And I'm like, oh, no, that's actually really good. That's really good. All right. Okay.
Ooh, Lisa rolled so well tonight, and Luca not so well.
Yeah.
Was any of that sand loss, was that any of that violence or helplessness?
Let's see. Seeing them, none of it's helplessness. So seeing them would be what's it called? What's it called? Oh my god.
Yeah.
Seeing him shoot himself, I would say, is probably violence. Seeing them would be unnatural. So probably one. Say one maybe would have been violence.
What about me shooting myself?
Honestly, that's probably more helplessness because you were, I would say. Okay. All right. And then, just seeing the creature is unnatural. So like seeing someone, try to shoot themselves, I would say that's violence. Trying to shoot oneself with not having control over it, I would say that's helplessness. So we'll just keep it all that. All right. So make your checks in those little tracks if you need them. Okay. I think that's it. Right?
Oh boy.
Good? Okay.
Yeah.
And don't forget to roll for your skill increases next time around.
I really wish you could roll a d4 for every time because I failed search like 3 times, and I would love to roll like 3 d4s to get that up.
Yeah, like sometimes I want to give it to you, but other times I feel like it's like one of those things where it's like throwing a bone type of thing. Like you don't. So I like kind of feel like there's a certain point.
No, totally.
Split the difference. Usually my general rule of thumb is that if there's no pressure at the time, I just do your skill. But The only exception is if something's really well hidden and it would require like actively looking for it. And so unless you're specifically saying, I'm sweeping the area or something like that, then, that kind of thing. All right, let's go ahead and do our plugs for next time. So next game we got is Monday. We're back to Fragged Empire, where you can see Melissa and I playing some space alien stuff. That's on Monday. Tuesday, Steven, what do we got?
We're playing some more X-Men. The party had a nice little beach vacation in the Hamptons, and they are now fighting mutant T-Rexes. So we're going to have some fun with that.
Wait, they're T-Rexes? That's how big they are? I was like picturing raptors.
They're like the size of a cargo van, yeah.
Oh, I can
maybe not
throw
full
that,
T-Rex.
That's fine. Yeah, that's fine.
You can throw a T-Rex.
I can't throw this thing because apparently they're anchored to the ground. That's right. I totally forgot about that. Okay, and then that's it for next week. Because next week is a holiday in the U.S. Thanksgiving on Thursday, so no werewolf. So we're not going to have our Thursday, Friday, Saturday streams next week, but we will be back the Monday following with more Monster of the Week. So Monday, Tuesday, we're good. Next week, Thursday, Friday, Saturday, we're off, and then we'll be back the following Monday with some more Monster of the Week. I think our next Delta Green, let's see, when the hell's our next Delta Green? It's going to be the 8th. I think that's right.
Yeah.
Yeah. So I think that's the next one. We're a little off schedule. We just wanted to get some more stuff in. I was about to say, I think we might finish this scenario next time around.
Are you sure?
Stop,
but I don't want to say that anymore.
It's only been 5 episodes.
I really don't want to say that anymore. So, not going to do it. Okay. Anyhow, thanks for everyone who hung out and watched tonight. Really do appreciate it. If you're watching this later on the YouTubnals, whatever the hell they call it, we appreciate it as well. If you have not yet subscribed to the YouTube page Adventures in Lollygagging or followed over here at the Lollygaggers on Twitch, consider doing so. It'd be awesome. Otherwise, see you later. Bye-bye.
Bye.